Hey everybody, um, there's something that's been on my mind that I wanted to talk to you about, and that is November the 5th. We've been talking about this. It's been discussed on YouTube for I don't know, a long time, at least a couple of years that I know of, maybe even longer than that. And so it's finally coming up upon us, and I'm hoping to say something that will encourage you to want to be a part of that. And, I was just saying this morning about all the damage that the Watchtower has done. And my family is just one family. And I can just give you a rundown of how the organization has just shredded my family. Which is a real shame, because ultimately each one of us are good and kind people. and I love all of my family. Like, there's not a one that I can't stand or argue with, or not a one. And nobody. I love all my family. I really do. And yet the Watchtower, the organization, has just divided our family up and caused so many separations unnecessarily. Just real quick, I can tell you that the pain that the organization has caused my mother, because some of her children have left the organization, and so she's cut those children off and has held them at arm's length. And my mother is a good and kind person, and I know this pains her greatly to do that. I'm not mad at my mother. I do get mad sometimes at the situation, but I feel sorry for her being in that position. It's put separations between various brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, because, this one's out of the truth, this one's in the organization, this one's gay, this one's this, and this one's that. And so there's all these little separations why we can't be a happy, loving family. There's all these rules, Watchtower rules, that get in the way of that. I can tell you that my sister had heart surgery and put her life on the line for this organization. My brother had surgery and put his life on the line. My oldest brother put his life on the line. Almost. Almost. It wasn't until he heard about, the new rule in the blood fractions that it threw him. He didn't realize that, and he didn't know what in the world that was about, and so he had to really think hard about his decision. I can tell you that my grandmother died refusing a blood transfusion. And so this is just all the pain and hurt that the Watchtower has caused in one family. All this is in one family. And so I can only imagine how everybody else's family has suffered at the hands of the Watchtower. Which leads me back to November 5th. As far as I'm aware, I don't think there's been any kind of organized demonstration against Watchtower outside of their facilities. I remember seeing a documentary about Watchtower and I do not know the year, but it, given the time period, I mean, you could tell that it was quite some time ago, decades. And so we have an opportunity very shortly to come together where we can gather on their turf or just outside of and say our piece and show our face and stand up for the organization, against the organization. I know that a lot of people have the feeling like, this has taken up so much of my life already. I don't want to waste any more time on this. I don't want to waste any more money on this. And I get you, and I feel that too. But this isn't about, well, for me, I'll just speak for myself. For me, going to this, I don't know what a demonstration I'll call it, or protest, is for me because I want them to see and hear and recognize that there are people who are angry and hurt and who survive and who move forward without them. That I don't give any credence to your authority. You have no authority over me. And so I'm not afraid to come and tell you to your face. You hold nothing over me. You have no authority over me. And I'm not afraid to come and tell you that you have ruined my family. You've caused a lot of grief in my family. And that you're not of God. I'm not even sure you're human, to be honest with you. And here, Joel and Parker, and I'm not even sure who else was involved in organizing this protest. But I appreciate it. I appreciate that someone has given their time and their efforts and their thought to organize this. And really, the only thing that I'm kind of asked to do is just show up and be a face in that crowd that stands up the Watchtower and tells them that they need to change. And no matter what the results are, the point is that we did it. We showed up and we said no, and then that people are tired of them destroying families, ripping families apart, taking lives, and we want our voice. I know it's working. Our voices are being heard by Watchtower just by the way that they're combating on jw.org and the way that they're training their witnesses, not to talk to people at the doors. Why? Because people are talking them at the doors. Don't go on the internet. Why? Because we're all here. We're all here and we're saying, no, wait, stop. So I want to show my face, and I want to do this. And I'm really, really hoping that you do too. If the Watchtower has put a hurting on your family the way it has mine, if it's stolen your life, if it's robbed you of joy and happiness, if it's held you back in any kind of way, if it's held authority over you when it had no right to, then I would encourage you to show up to this event and show your face and let it be known that you're You're not going to stand for it anymore. And certainly, if nothing else, we're not going to be quiet about it. We're not going to go away and not talk negatively about the organization, because that's wrong. It's not wrong. It would be wrong not to say something about this organization. So, I don't I don't want to come down on anybody who doesn't want to participate, but I hope that you give it some thought. And if you can't go, because I know it's far away and traveling's expensive and time off work, I get all that. There is a GoFundMe page that Joel has set up on the Vast Apostate Hour, where there's links where you can go and contribute, where they're going to use the money that they collect to make our presence known there on that day. So I would encourage you, especially if you're not able to show up. Being there is the best way possible to support this. But if you can, at least go onto the GoFundMe page and contribute whatever it is that you're able to, so that we can make this a showing for ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. I kind of feel like this is like a fight for my family. I may not be able to get them out myself. They may not come out. They may not be willing to. But I'm hoping that one day they're gonna be glad that I didn't shut up and that I didn't go away, and that I took every opportunity that I could to stand up for them when they weren't in a position to. It's ironic that my grandmother actually died on November 5th, and I kind of feel like I'm speaking up for my grandmother too. So I just wanted to encourage people to really give this some thought, and if there's any way possible to support this effort, I would encourage you to do so. And that was pretty much it. So I hope to see you there. My wonderful fella, he has some health issues, so barring any problems there, I will be there on November the 5th, and I hope to see a lot of people there. I hope to hear a lot of voices, and I'm hoping to make a mark on Watchtower. So that's that, and I'll see you then. Thank you.